Welcome into TuddyTalk Week 8. Now, I just have to say one thing before we get started. Banana. Welcome into TuddyTalk Week 8. I'm Devin, here alone, and that's how it's just gonna be, okay? Get that through your thick skulls. If you can't understand why it's just me, then I can't help you there. Unfortunately, that's your problem. Now, we're gonna get right into it. I am going to talk about the power rankings. And, you know, there's been a lot of shakeup. This last week, there were a lot of upsets, a lot of misunderstandings with our players, I think some of us would say. So we're just going to get into it. Number 12. I have to talk about Apple and his sad, pathetic team. His sad team. They got 120 points. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough. But you know what?
We do not care.
We don't care. That's just how it goes. And unfortunately for you, that's how we're going to play it. If you're not going to win against Tatani, then what use are you for me? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, moving on. Moving down 4 spots this week is going to be Tommy. Now, Tommy, you lost yet again. You are now 3-5 in the number 10 position in the entire league, number 11 in our power rankings, and it's not going how you wanted it to. I don't know if things are going on in your personal life. If you can't pay attention to this, that's fine. Hey, do your thing, you know. We all love you. We all support you. But your team, it's just a mess right now. Travis Etienne is dropping fairly quickly. He didn't even play last week. What are you doing starting him? Jordan Love with 6 points. That's brutal. Jonathan Taylor's back, so that's a nice little area that you improved on. 20 points for him. But of course, you fell short against Matt Gifford, and that's just how it goes. You can't expect wins when you're starting unavailable players. Now, moving up 1 spot, we have Scott. And Scott, we're going to put you right here at the number 10 spot because you got to win. And that's impressive. At this point in the season, you were, 2-5. We didn't expect you to win this week, especially against Brittany. Brittany has one of the best teams in the league, and you took her down. You showed what you were capable of. 116 points this past week, excuse me. Kareem Hunt still looking like that guy in Kansas City. Hopefully, the return of their other running backs, Pacheco, Jesus, can help you out there. Travis Kelce looked, really good. 90 yards and a touchdown. That's excellent. Tank Bigsby, he's questionable this week, so let me check that out. He is limited at practice on Wednesday, so you know that's how that goes. Lad McConkey with that crazy touchdown. I don't know if you caught that, but that was insane. So congratulations there. Yeah, moving up 1 spot. Unfortunately, I couldn't put you any higher because there were so many really good performances this week. It's just crazy how many people scored over 100. I think this might be the highest scoring week. I didn't fact check that at all, so hopefully that's true. We don't really know. Now moving to number 9, staying in the same place, we are having Paris. Now Paris, you scored a tremendous amount of points, 126. Unfortunately, that didn't get you the win. So I have to keep you here. I can't put you any higher. Lamar Jackson's still going crazy. Ramondre came back and gave you 22. That's insane. James Cook, he had one of his blow-up games. Of course, he was playing Seattle, so obviously that's going to happen. 28 points. Everybody else, let's see. Cortland Sutton, had a fumble, but 100 yards on 8 receptions, 15 points. That's great. Good job. Tyreek Hill didn't look exactly like you wanted him to with Tua's return. I think that's going to improve. So, just keep an eye out on that. Or that's just who he is now. He's getting old, and that's how it goes. Zach Charbonnet on your bench with 9 points. It wouldn't have given you the win, but it would have made it a little bit closer. So yeah, that's where we're at with Paris. I think that this team is still great, but that's just how it goes. One team that is slipping a bit And moving down 3 spots is going to be Brittany. Now, 109 for this team is below average technically by about 3 points. Let's see, Baker is a huge highlight on this team, 30 points. That's tremendous. That's fantastic. David Montgomery, 16 points. Achan with 25. That's what you want from your starters. However, once you get past that, it starts to get a little muddy. 7 points from Amon-Ra, 3 points from Komet, Jaden Reed, 7.5, 8 points from Brian Robinson. Just not what you need in order to take down these juggernauts like Scott's team. You hope that they can perform better next week and in the weeks coming. But unfortunately, last week you did get the loss. Moving up 3 spots, is going to be Chris. Now, Chris, you came away with dominating and impressive win. This was against probably the best team in the league that we expected to be the best team in the league. It's Eric. He only scored 91 against you, but you scored 128 while you were on vacation. So you weren't even trying, and this is what you do. It's crazy. And I mean, Sammy did the same thing. Both of you on vacation and just taking down the top teams in the league, and it's really rough. CeeDee Lamb showed out, 35 points. That's crazy. Congratulations there. 13 for both Cup and Laporta. Cup coming back on a surprise Thursday night game. That's great. Happy that he's back. Let's see. James Conner scored 14. Almost everybody was above 10 points. JSN just under 9.9, and Keenan Allen only at 4.9. But, I mean, when everybody else scores that much, you can't complain. 128 points for Blockbusters. Hurry up, Cup. Maybe change that name. Nate, you're moving up 2 spots into the 6th spot. And, I mean, you won. Again, another impressive week from the lower half of the league. 136 points. You needed it because, 126 points was your opposition. And had you not scored that much, you easily would have lost. I didn't expect this at all. You are now 4-4. And you've turned around your season. I like what I'm seeing. I could easily see you in the playoffs now. And it should only be getting better. Besides Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, you lost him. He's now on IR. But Keon Coleman scoring 15, that's got to be promising for you. You got to hope that continues and that Amari Cooper doesn't hop into that role, take over a little bit. There's 3 people that concern me on Buffalo. It's Khalil Shakir, Amari Cooper, and Keon Coleman. If one of them doesn't score, then the other 2 are going to do well. But if all 3 of them do fine, they're all going to get about 10, and that's not what you want from wide receivers. Devontae Adams, when do you start panicking? This is now 2 weeks with the Jets, and just garbage. He hasn't given you anything to be excited about. 4 receptions for 54 yards. What are you supposed to do with that? Not much, unfortunately. Jalen Hurts with 40 points. That's great. I think I predicted that Jalen Hurts would be one of the top quarterbacks this past week. So, pat myself on the back. That's pretty cool. That's what I have to say. Moving up 1 spot and into the 5 is my ex-co-host, Matt Gifford. Now, it wasn't against one of the better teams, but you still scored 116. That's nothing to scoff at. Unfortunately, Geno Smith was your pain in the ass this week, I would say. Only scoring 8 points. He really held you back from that 120, 130 point game that we all know that you are capable of now. So, if he does well, then you are looking fantastic. Elijah Moore, what the hell? With 12.5 points? That's crazy on your bench, but, Tyler Lockett, garbage with 1 point. It wasn't one of his fantastic games. Mark Andrews is back, though. What can you say? He got another touchdown this week. He is on a roll right now. Oh my God. 14, 18, then 12 the past 3 weeks. He's doing really well. Marvin Harrison, looking like the G that he is, Marvin, he got another touchdown, 22 points. That's great. Garrett Wilson outperformed Devontae Adams yet again, so maybe he is the wide receiver 1 over there. I didn't expect that. I thought he would slink back a little bit, but I mean, maybe it is just the effect of Adams. You know, he's taken away the number one cornerback. Chase Brown scoring over 10. That's perfectly fine. Joe Mixon, though. Joe Mixon has been just excellent for this team, and you really hit on that one, on that draft pick. So congratulations there, Matt Gifford. Now moving down 2 spots into the 4 is going to be my team. Now, Kyler Furry is no more. Kyler Furry has been defeated. We lost by about 17. But I can't say that I'm proud of it. And it sucks. My team just didn't put up what I know that they could do. Dontavian Wicks completely disappeared. Jordan Mason, this is a couple weeks in a row. And Christian McCaffrey's coming back. This is not how you keep a job if you want to continue when the actual starter comes back, even in a committee role. I think that Jordan Mason is done. He's essentially useless now. So congratulations there to me. Puka is back. That's really nice. Trey McBride scored 18.9, so that's really good. Happy Tight Ends Day to everybody that celebrated. That was an excellent week for all tight ends. Kyler Murray scored almost 30. That's great. Tony Pizza coming in with 13. I hope for more, but I honestly can't complain when this Tennessee offense looks abysmal, scoring 14 points against Detroit when they scored 52. It's just what it is. Now, Breece Hall is someone that I can complain about. 9 points for a first rounder is just garbage. It's straight up doo-doo, and I can't keep having this happen, especially if I want to make the playoffs. Now, I am in first place still, but that's because of incredible luck. My team has been so lucky this year, and our streak continues, even with a loss. Eric lost, Titani won, but that didn't matter because he already has 2 losses. I'm the only one with 1 loss, and I mean, it's really nice to see. I like to stay in first for as long as I can. I genuinely don't think I'm going to stay up there too long, but we'll see. Now, moving into the 3 spot, down 2 spots, is another person that took an unfortunate loss this week. Eric, you only scored 91 points, and that's just not going to do it. I mean, usually it would do it against Chris. His average is 90 points, but of course you play him when he scores almost 130. So that's where we're at right now. Kenneth Walker couldn't even break 7 points. DJ Moore, 4.5. It's brutal. Nick Chubb coming back and just giving you 5 points. I want to see the Nick Chubb of old. Jameis Winston coming in, that should be a positive for all of the Browns. They actually got a win. They put up more statistics than they have the entire year. And Nick Chubb was an afterthought, unfortunately. Now, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, those guys both performed. That's what you want. Derrick Henry still going solid. We'll see if that continues throughout the rest of the year with his old age breaking him down throughout the season. But right now, this is what you get from those 3 players, and then the rest of them you want more. Joe Burrow only putting up 15. That's not going to cut it. 91 points. Eric, you are in 3rd in our power rankings. Number 2, moving up 2 spots, is going to be Sammy. Now, taking a break from life, going on that vacation, maybe that's what you needed. 117 points against the number 1 team in the league. That got you the win somehow. Your average is slowly moving up. It's now at 105. That's great. Josh Allen, J.K. Dobbins, Kyron Williams, all over 13 points, all over 14 points, I should say. Jamar Chase, too. And damn, that one really hurt. Josh Downs. When I saw that long touchdown, I knew it was over for me. It happened pretty early in the day. I saw that and immediately turned off Red Zone. I was done. So, yeah, I guess I concede that to you. Congratulations on your win, Sammy. You hope that it can continue. Jalen Waddle, you want more out of him, especially with Tua back. I said it with Tyreek Hill. I'll say it again with Waddle. What's going on in Miami? They barely lost to Arizona. I think they're going to lose by more. I think they're playing Buffalo this week. Let me fact check that. Yeah. Buffalo this week, I don't know if they're going to do better or worse, but you want more from Tua and the Dolphins offense. Now, of course, that leaves one team left. Tatani moving back up 2 spots into the number 1 spot, putting up 135 points. That's no slouch. And I mean, you're back to your winning ways. It is a little rude to do against Matt Apple, especially when he scores 120. I thought you were gonna just let him have this one, a little bit. You didn't sacrifice yourself for the sloppy toppy, and that's what we all wanted. We wanted you to give Apple a win because sometimes that's what you need when you're Matt Apple. Instead, you just shoved his face into the ground and curb stomped him. Bo Nix with 35 points, excellent pickup. That's great. Darnell Mooney, you actually played him this time, and he got you almost 17 points. AJ Brown only 10, that's fine. Cade Otton, though, another fantastic waiver wire pickup. Great job, good on you. Alvin Kamara is now questionable, so limited Wednesday. After breaking his hand, he still got 15 points. Good for him. Aaron Jones he's looked solid all year. I can't say anything different about that. That sucks for me. Chuba Hubbard, though, he looks like he's kind of disappeared the past couple. No, I take that back pretty quick. He has declined, but he hasn't really disappeared. He only got 8 points last week. But it's Chuba Hubbard. I wouldn't have expected even that from him. So he has definitely outperformed my expectations. Even on your bench, though, you have Cedric Tillman and Tyrone Tracy both scoring over 25 points. Just this team it looks really good when there are no buys and no injuries. So congratulations on your team. You are number 1 in our power rankings. And to that, I don't have much to say. So moving to the competitions, we are going to go, let's see, last week was the greatest underperformer, and that goes to Eric. He scored about 17 under his projection, and that's, like I say every time, not going to get it done. Congratulations on your $5 this past week, Eric. This coming week is going to be Tuddy Party, and that is the most touchdowns for an individual team. So it combines all of your quarterback touchdowns, all of your wide receiver touchdowns, running backs, and tight ends touchdowns. And I will add them up manually because that's just what I do. I appreciate this league. I love you guys. So I put my back-breaking work into this league. You're welcome. Moving on to predictions. Now, last week, I didn't do so hot, but thankfully neither did Gifford. And unfortunately, I do have to call it here. This is where we are ending the predictions for him. He is no longer doing the podcast with me indefinitely. I don't know how long, but he said he's done with the podcast. So moving right along, we are going into, let's see, first matchup, me versus Gifford. And you know what? If you want to come play with the big dogs, put up some big numbers. Yeah, Gifford? I expect my team to come out with a victory, even if we are injured, even if we do have bye weeks. I think that we are going to be able to dismantle your team and bring you back down to earth. After your inflated ego brings you up to 4-4, now you are going to be dropped down to 4-5. Moving to Brittany versus Blockbusters. Chris, I oddly enough chose Brittany for this one. Now, I guess it's not odd. She is better on average points, but Chris, I just don't think you're going to win this week. You had a really good week last week. I think that's an anomaly. I think last week was just an odd one out. Everybody scored so many points, and it's not going to continue now. I think that Brittany is going to be able to pull this one out. Her team is solid all around. So is yours, but this is, looking at it right now, I'm second guessing, but I do believe in Brittany's team, and I will continue to support her and hope that she can pull this one out. Now, moving to Nate versus Matt Apple, I believe 0-9 is in your future. Even with 6-0, here we come as your name. I think that you're going to continue to lose. Nate, you just put up an impressive performance, and so did Apple, but Nate's was better, and that's how it's going to continue. Nate, you are winning this one against the lowest team in the league right now. Moving to Eric versus Scott. Again, another team that put up a really good performance, and a team against that one that, I mean, frankly, shat the bed. He didn't do very well at all, and I think that he bounces back. Even with George Kittle out on bye, let's see, who do you have? Dalton Schultz. He's no slouch. I mean, maybe he is. 7, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, he is a slouch. But I think that you can beat Scott even with a bum-ass tight end, shall we say. And moving to Sammy's matchup. Oh my god. Against Tommy, it's a no-brainer. Tommy, it has checked out, I think. I don't hear much from him. I don't even know if he listens to this, frankly. So that's why I'm kind of talking shit about him. Sammy, you're going to win this one. You're already projected to win by about 20 points. And after last week's performance, I think that you can continue it. Tommy, even when everybody scores 100 plus, you scored under. You scored about 90. I think this is an easy win for Sammy, and she's going to continue rolling to 7-2. There's going to be like 3 7-2 teams, maybe 4 if I lose 2. Shit, this is going to be tough. Fight for first place, frankly. And I mean, Tatani still has 1,000 points more than ever. I guess I should say congratulations to Tatani, first one to over 1,000 points, and that's no easy feat. I also want to say congratulations to Apple, over 900 points. Oh, and Paris. Paris has 900 points against too. So congratulations to both of you. Who's going to get over 1,000? Probably both of you, because 100 points isn't that hard to get to. Moving to Paris versus Tatani. And in this one, two very good teams last week. Now this week, unfortunately, I have to default and go to Tatani. I mean, let's see. Breaking down, let's do one breakdown, you know? Lamar Jackson, Bo Nix. Honestly, I mean, that's the same game. Lamar is questionable right now. Let's see why. I'm gonna missed a second straight missed a second straight practice. He might not even play. Bo Nix is the easy pick here, unfortunately. Ramondre versus Alvin. Alvin has an easier matchup. I gotta go him. James Cook versus Saquon. Again, Saquon has a really easy matchup. So does James Cook, but that is a divisional matchup, and I don't think that that's going to go great for him. Saquon. Darnell versus Cortland. Now, you know what? I'll give you one here. I think that Cortland Sutton can be better than Darnell Mooney. Of course, it's a 50-50 shot every week. Good luck to both of them. I am picking Cortland, though. Deontay Johnson, newly acquired Baltimore Raven. Without Lamar Jackson, if he doesn't play, it's easy. A.J. Brown. Even if he does play, what am I saying? A.J. Brown takes this easily. Kate Otten versus Brock Bowers. That one's actually tougher than I expected. I'm going to give it to the young guy. I'm going to go with Brock Bowers here. Kate Otten, he had a tremendous performance this past week, but looking forward, I don't know if he does it against Kansas City. DeAndre Hopkins, moving into our flexes, DeAndre Hopkins on Kansas City against Tampa Bay. Okay. And Aaron Jones versus Indy. Minnesota's just rolling. I got to go with Aaron Jones. Tyreek versus Chuba. This should be an easy Tyreek, but instead it's going to be a hard Tyreek. I think Tyreek is going to get hard, and I think he's going to go hard against the Buffalo Bills. So there you go. Overall, mix-up of the teams, but I do believe that Tatani is going to take this one. Thank you all for joining me in TuddyTalk Week 9. Man, this is how it is going forward. Just me talking. It's going to be pretty quick. I will see you next week. Happy Halloween. Remember to go vote.